improve Swanee boat ramp because we have some of the same issues with our boat ramp that you have here. It's very narrow and a lot of washout on the sides. Complete the Wi-Fi installations and cameras at some of the parks. Improve camping park. Replace the old picnic tables in some of the parks. And we've talked about having a separate launch area for kayaks and canoes. That way we keep a swimming area open and safe. You like that, huh? Yeah. I do too. I love the kayak. Can we drive to it? Hadn't talked about that one. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're just going to figure out if we got a quorum.
We do. What do we have, 990? Yes, we only needed 50 due to the fact we have individual numbers. And at last count, where we have 104 present, verified to vote, and there still were a few people. We have over 104.
So we have over 104 people here to vote. We have over 104 people to vote.
And we only needed 50.
And we only needed 54. Okay. General business, you gonna do that, Glenn?
I have no general business.
You don't have it on? Okay. It was on the agenda. Okay, Vicky's already done the project update. We're gonna do a breakdown of the Trepo finances and the budget presentation, and that will be Carol.
Okay. Can everybody hear okay? Because we have so many people on the outskirts. Can everybody hear okay? A little bit more? Move it a little closer, number one. Number two, we'll turn it up. Come on. Just kind of. Yeah.
Trip.
It's all wired up. Charlie's got like.
Sorry, buddy.
They got nothing else exclusives or anything.
Okay, take every one of these budget proposals as one for the whole family.
Ron, I can turn this a little bit just to try to cover. Show you. Capture what we have. We have still need to find out. When you start to excited. You guys have this here. Start coming back.
If you don't have a budget, lift your hand if you want one.
Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this down.
Was that all of us? You didn't have me?
I have 3 extra. 100 coffee. They gave me 3. Got 3 extra.
Three of them? Okay.
What is right here? Cheap, 5,000. You're looking at.
They're supposed to get every other one. They have 30. There's 100. There were 100 printed. So if you have an extra one, if you're a couple, give yours to somebody that doesn't have one. This is wonderful that we have a great turnout. Last year we only had about 50 or 60 people that we had to give budgets to. I doubled it
And y'all doubled and tripled in size, so we're glad that you're here. Very grateful. I think, when I'm going to read from the budget that I have, so if you don't have a copy, you can look off somebody next to you if you need to see it in black and white. They will be posted, of course, on our website when this is over. This is a summary of what we actually went over, but I went ahead and gave you the detailed report. So, and it will be on the website if it's not already there. This was brought to the meeting 2 months ago, two board meetings ago, when we presented it. There were no changes. We voted on it this past Tuesday. So I just went back and recreated that form so you could actually see it. Before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about what a budget is all about. Well, first I'm going to tell you what September and where we are. Then we'll go into the budget, okay? So if you want to listen up, and I have to wear my glasses.
Okay.
For the month of September, these are from our bank accounts. We have three. One is a regular operating checking account, which is the one we write all the checks out to pay all of the expenses. The treasurer actually takes care of writing the checks. Then Terry, Glenn, Vonda, the other board members, whoever's presenting the invoices, have gotten the approval to pay those invoices before the check is ever written. The check has to be signed by two of the people that are assigned to that bank account. So nothing goes out of this bank account that's not already been seen by at least two people of this organization. We have, like I said, we have an operating checking account, and then that balance at the end of September was $53,893.01. We have a reserve account. This account has been in existence since I started helping with bookkeeping, and prior to that, we've maintained, the only thing that's coming into that every month or every 3 months, because it's a savings account, is there's a little bit of interest. And I'll be honest with you, it's a shame that a $50,000 account only earns $3. But anyway, this past month there was a little bit of a mistake, and we recorded that, and we wanted to make sure everybody was aware of it, because there was supposed to be $20,000 from our membership checking transferred into our operating account. And it came out of the reserves by mistake, but within 3 days, the bank reversed it. So our bank account, as of the end of September 30th, on the statement showed $30,047.12. Since then, like I said, the $20,000 was put back. So that bank savings says $50,047.12. And that was because we got a whole $3.69 for our interest on that account. Then our membership checking account as of the 30th of September was $28,711.83. That is really just a holding checking account. What we do is, as members pay their dues, whether it be by check, cash, or electronic, it goes into that membership account. So that's where we know how much money we've collected and how much is going back out. Then the money is transferred into our operating account to pay our bills. For this month of September, we actually paid out in actual checks $15,155.97. We have auto drafts. All the electrical bills on our account and our internet and our Windstream account are auto drafted. So those auto drafts came up to $742.85. For our total expenditures for the month of September was $15,898.82. Transfers, like I said, we transferred $20,000 into the checking, the operating account. We had interest of the $369 for savings. We had no deposits into the regular account, but we did have $1,875 that was deposited in the membership account. That money comes in from, as they've mentioned before, we have people that are buying property in here, paying their membership dues, the estoppels, anything like that goes into that account. People that are going ahead and being nice and paying their next year's dues a little ahead of time sometimes will happen. So anyway, that account deposits showed the $1,875. So our total deposits for the month of September was $1,878.69. You do not have those in front of you. That's a report that's given to the board every month. That's the report that I create through my program. But I do have our QuickBooks program, which is your profit and loss. And this year, because it is at the end of the quarter, I did do a profit and loss for September, and I did a profit and loss year to date. So I'm going to go ahead and give you those numbers. It's kind of confusing, but I'm just going to give them to you in generalities. And then I will move forward to the budget. We're not to the budget yet. Yes, ma'am. I know, this is the report that's given to the board. It's online. I'm just telling you this for information. This is going to prepare you for the budget that you do have copies of. This is just information for you to have. This was presented at the board, read and approved by the board this last month. Just so you know, the income for this year to this month was $1,878, which I just told you about. Our costs were expenses, and the administrative side of this was $1,844.68. Maintenance and expenses for Columbia County was $17,141.70. Maintenance for Suwannee County was $2,092.58. Membership expenses was $0. Park management expenses was $8,153.96, and that included our manager, our greeters, and anything else that the maintenance repairs to some of the parks were included in that. So our total expenses for September was $29,232.92. Year to date, we have spent $128,237.37. That's the total that we've spent so far. Our net income for September was a negative $27,354.23. But on the positive side, we have $18,347.98 in income for the year that's left over to spend. Now, I need some water. Year to date, as far as income that we've collected, expenses. Year to date is negative $27,354.23. That when you look at this is only a September number. This is not the actual number for the whole year. The whole year year to date, $128,237.37. And this is September. So we have, as you know, October, November, December left to go.
I have a question.
Yes.
We have a budget here, right?
Right.
You have access to the journal somehow to see actual versus budgeted?
Yes, I can provide that. If you'll wait just a minute, you'll understand what you're seeing because I'm going to explain it to you in detail. First off, I want to tell you that I'm a student of Dave Ramsey, Financial Freedom, and Crown Financial. So I totally believe in budgets. Okay, I do believe that you can't rob Peter to pay Paul. So we know that when we're creating budgets for the year. These are what you normally, if you yourself have a budget, you have an idea of how much money's coming in, how much money's going out, how much you have left over at the end of the month. And as they tell you right now, probably 99% of us are only one paycheck away of not being able to have our house. And that's because of the cost of living going up. That's because of everything that's happening in our world and the fact that a lot of us, I'm going to be included in that. We're living off of Social Security, off of jobs that we have, of income that we have coming in, and we have to maintain that at some point. So a budget is just a way for you to record everything you have coming in, everything you have to spend to go out. You have electricity, you have a mortgage payment, you have your car insurance, you have all those things. Those are the things that each one of us has to have, and you have to know how much money's coming in and how much you're going to need, how much more you got to earn to make the bottom line match up. You have to be careful when you go to, go buy your meals or whatever. So this is what a budget is really all about. So what we did and what we've done the last 2 or 3 years that I've been involved in helping create a budget is we took the actual QuickBooks program. My computer's right over here. It belongs to Trepo. We took what we have actually spent in that year for that item, and we looked at that and said, okay, we spent $2,000 last year. If insurance is going to go up a little bit, we're going to have to put a little bit more money over in that side of it. So that's where we come up with a proposed budget. So if we want, we're gonna go line by line. You that have copies can look at it line by line. Those who don't have copies, look on with somebody else if you really want to know where these numbers are coming from. But I'm gonna tell you,
I have a question. You said there's 900 members
990 members.
that are paid, 990?
Yes.
Okay, I calculated 900 members, let's just say. And it comes to 135,000, not 85,000 that it says.
Okay, where are you looking?
Right here, it says on the front page, it says membership dues. That's what you collect, 85,000.
Correct.
Well, 900
Okay, wait,
alone.
we're not there yet, because that was at the beginning of last year. If you look at the top of the budget, let's go through the budget line by line, and you'll be, I'll hopefully will answer all your questions. Starting at the top, we have the 4 checking accounts. I only put the account that we actually have money in right now that we know we're going into this coming year, year 24, as the $50,000 savings account. So that's all the money we have right now. We're pretending like there's nothing in the banks. Okay, you look at the next one, which is income. We have proposed, based on the numbers from last year, the first line, if you look at it, it says 2023 budget. We put that column in there. That's what we anticipated spending for this current year, 2023. That was the budget that we laid out. To create a 24 budget, we looked at the QuickBooks program and said, okay, for income newsletter, we only spent $100. For ads, we only collected $100. So we're only going to keep that again for next year, because probably we're not going to do a newsletter that's going to be selling. Nobody out here is going to go sell ads for the newsletter unless you've got a business, you want to put one in, you make a donation of what you think. Carrying forward, we had donations and fundraisers. We anticipated last year we were going to try to have the building created, the building ready. We had some other things that we were thinking of ways. We're trying to be creative in ways. Ask for donation, pass the hat. So we said, okay, we hope we get $2,000. This year we decided we're not going to pass the hat. Nobody's going to, if anybody wants to make a donation, we are willing to accept it, but we're not going to count on it. So we put 0 there. Our interest income, like I said, it's a shame, but $50 is going to be really good if we get 50 this year. But we put it in there as income. Late fees, we have collected because there are members who are late in paying their dues. It's life. And I think it's only $25, if I'm not mistaken, for the first 30 days, and then 50 for the second 30 or something. So that's what that fee was. We said, okay, we anticipate there's going to be some late fees, so that's $500. The income from 23 was $85,000. That was based on, back when we remember 23. How much was our membership? No, how much was it? Our initial was $100. Was $100 based on the number of people we had at that time, which was about $850, 850 people. So that was where we came up with 85,000 for last year. We anticipate and pray that we have 1,000 people between now and January that are going to be a part of this homeowners association. So based on the current $150 that you're all paying times the 1,000, we came up with $150,000 as our income. So that's what we're anticipating. Then the next thing, of course, is estoppels, and I think Vonda can tell you a little bit about those. But that's where people who are buying property now, they're being charged $100 for paying off some of the back things and paying into our budget. So we anticipate, okay, maybe there'll be another 1,000. We anticipated 1,000 last year. Then for the barbecues and the fish fries, we put a budget in for $500. Well, we know we were going to double in size, so we put a budget this time for $1,000, and that's per event. So $500 for this event, $500 for the event that's coming up in April. Okay, so going on down the line, we cut, as you see zeros about a lot of it, because we were thinking, okay, back last year, we were going to have some signs to sell. We were going to have T-shirts to sell. This year we decided we're probably not going to have that income. So the bottom line at the end of the income side of this, anticipating 1,000 members at $150 a person, our budget was going to be $152,650. Now turn to your next page. Now we're getting into how much it costs. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up on budget points, just so you know. The average monthly expenses just to operate this homeowners association It's $15,000 to $16,000 a month. And all those line items that you see in front of you are where that money goes. You multiply 15,000 times 12 months, and that's $180,000 to operate. And I've already told you we're only going to bring in 152. So we're already short money just in our general operating expenses. And what those are electricity, our website, our portalets, the bookkeeper, janitor, garbage collection, mowing, maintenance labor, park manager, maintenance supplies, office supplies, mileage, the telephone, internet, and postage. That's what is averaging $15,000 to $16,000 a month, based on what month it is. Newsletter went out this month. We haven't even talked about this month's newsletter. This was the quarterly one we did. The expenses aren't going to show up until October because we just spent money. But it was over $2,000 just to get all of y'all here today. And that's postage and printing to create a newsletter. Okay, then your yearly expenses, which are seasonal or quarterly, and that's your property taxes, our insurance, postage, the newsletter itself, the annual picnic, the annual fish fry, office supplies to get that done, membership invoices. I mean, it's going to cost money to mail out y'all an invoice to bill you for the income, the invoices we need. And then, of course, our gate readers. They're seasonal, but that's $11,000 just for the 4 or 5 months that we have gate readers. And that's to keep you safe. That's to make sure that you are the person who's coming in here with a key that can come and utilize our parks. That's for your protection. So that comes out to about $20,000 a year. Then your added expenses, the things that we haven't even talked about yet, which is coming up on the next page. And that's, so if you break it down, I don't need to read everything out, but I will because I understand there's some of you that don't have one. But just to give you an example, the bank charges we zeroed out, we said no. Bookkeeping is $3,000. The computer repairs is $100. Insurance, fire and casualty is $2,000. Liability insurance is $3,000. Legal fees $10,000. Licenses and permits $1,000. Postage and postal box was $300. Miscellaneous expenses, we just put $100 in there. Office supplies $1,000. Paper's costing a lot of money. I don't know if y'all bought copy paper lately, but it costs $12 for a ream of paper. Then we had our website internet maintenance is $1,500. Mileage is $1,200. It's got to pay for that gas for those people that are taking care of taking our bills and the ones that are coming here and doing the garbage collection and those kind of things. That's what that mileage is. And then the security equipment. Last year we budgeted for $20,000. We were blessed, and that was one of these things that are on this list here. We've almost accomplished, I'd say, 75% of the parks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We with that $20,000, we were able to purchase those cameras. Charlie did that, the labor that what cost to put all that up. He did that as grazie to us because he's a member here and he appreciates that. So y'all do need to give him a hand because that was labor intensive. I mean, if you look around, I mean, I'm sure you're climbing trees and putting these up on posts and wherever he's got them all located is helping this organization because it's going to help keep what's going on out, keep the right people in, keep the dogs out when they don't need to be, where they're not supposed to be. I mean, all the things that are going on, that's what these cameras are all about, is to help make this park and these places safe for you and your children and your grandchildren and the people that are using these parks that are doing the wrong thing, that are causing damage and vandalism, where hopefully those cameras are going to help us find out who they are and bring charges against them.
It's already paid off.
And at least, we'll be able to know when somebody's breaking a gate just to try to get in. Breaking a lock. Those locks aren't cheap. If we do them in-house, they're $250. If we have to go get outside, it's over $500 to bring in Keaton's locksmith. If there's people that can't, if people on the inside are not able to do it for us, which is our park manager and some of these other people that are willing to help do some of this maintenance stuff by themselves, we are having to spend out labor. And as well as I do, having people work is not cheap. They've got to make a living too. So altogether, administrative, we had a budget of $38,400. But by looking at what we actually spent last year, we were able to pare down and bring it down to $28,200. When you look at Columbia's, the next step, that's electric, 2,500, garbage collection, 3,000, janitor labor, that's 2,500. Janitor supplies, 300. That's a lot of toilet paper, guys, if you think about it. Maintenance labor was 5,000 is what we estimated. We came down on that from 65. And we took that and put it back into maintenance supplies because we have to have you have to have supplies to work on. Mileage we dropped the mileage from 2,000 down to 1,000. The mowing labor came down from 4,500 to 4,000. Other maintenance expense, we kept at 500. The portalets we had to go up on, like they've already told you, we're having to add another portalet over to the Swanee side. I hate to tell you, but those porta potties are not cheap. But I'm sorry, Columbia, because we did have, you're right. No, we had to increase that because there's another part that we're adding stuff to. So we're trying to help relieve some of the overflow or the numbers of people that are coming into one park at one time. So by making all the other parks very usable for other people, then it helps kind of spread it out a little bit. So people that haven't been going over to the camp park or some of the other places, anyway, so yeah, that number, the 10,000, is based on what our bills were for the month. So if you'll look at the monthly bill, I've got it written out. I think our portalets are costing about $900 a month for the ones that we do have. Yeah, so we've increased it. So that's why we went up to 10 on that, just to let you know why that was an increase. But there is one new one going over to Swanee, so we did add a portalet for Swanee. Huh? Okay, so then on down, you'll see our property taxes is $850. The telephones and internet, we're anticipating just a $5,000 debt on that. Then their vandalism cost us $500 this year, so we had to keep that the same. And then we put $5,000 into remodeling and revamping. Like I told you before, this is only a budget. We may or may not spend that $5,000. More than likely we will, because there's stuff that's still left to be done. Just like this pavilion this time. This is one of those things that we've added on to our budget. And we only did it because we knew we had the money. We knew we had this, we were coming up on the end of the year. We wanted to be able to have a really nice place to have these meetings. And so this was one of those projects that kept getting put off, and then we finally, sometimes you just have to say, okay, this is the time we're going to save and spend and do this. Next project, so that gives you your Columbia. Columbia stayed the same. We were able to just maneuver money around. So $42,150 is actually being spent, or will projected to be spent in Columbia. Swanee, same thing. Electric, $1,500. Internet, $840. Janitor labor and garbage, $2,400. Janitor supplies, $200. Maintenance labor, $2,000. Maintenance supplies, $1,500. Mileage is $100. Mowing labor was $500. Other maintenance expenses anticipated. We always just put $100 in the other column just in case. Portalets, you can see it went from $200 to $1,800. That's because we're going to have one over there for 12 months. So you multiply it out. It's going to end up being that for a year. The property taxes over there was $150. Vandalism went from $200 to $300. And our remodeling renovation over there last year, we anticipated spending $8,000. I don't think we actually did much renovation over there last year because we did it all this year. And that's why our budget went up to $15,000 for, well, $8,000 is what we spent on the bathrooms and stuff. I take that back. And then this year we anticipate making more improvements. As they've already told you, there's lots of things on the docket to help make Suwannee County's side, upgrades. And that's going to be a benefit to everybody who lives on that side. You don't have to drive all the way over here to get the same amenities that you got on that side now. So with that anticipation, our Suwannee budget was $16,190, and we've increased it to $26,390. Now we're getting into membership. I know that we told you this last year, and it's not getting any cheaper. Those brass keys cost a lot of money, and we have to order them enough ahead of time in order to get them ready to cut and be ready for our January when we actually do the distribution. So the increase from 8,500 to 10,000 is because, number one, we've got more members, which means we got more keys to cut, and the cost of brass. So that increases to 10,000. Membership, the newsletter, the printing, the mailing. We anticipated it was gonna be 5,500, and so we put it in the budget for 2,000. And I will be honest, the one that we haven't even written the checks, well, we've written the checks, but we haven't given it to as a budget yet, was over $2,000 this past 2 weeks ago, a week ago. So that's why our printing is costly. Then in the membership is also where your invoices are coming from, and that's also for the mail outs that we'll have to do for people that haven't paid, that we need to have to mail them what I call done letters. You need to pay your bill. So then we have the office supplies, which is, your envelopes and that kind of thing. And that's 500. Then our next picnic fish fry, we anticipate 2,500. Obviously, when we get income from the money that y'all paid today for your meal is part of the income side of this, so it'll offset what the actual expenses are. So, but we anticipate the 2,500. Let's see, go back to postage and keys and invoices. That's the 1,500, because that's kind of a separate mail out. And then the refunds, this year we did have one person that paid twice, so we had to give them their money back, obviously. So there are some things that we do have to do refunds on. The community events, I don't know how many of y'all are participating, but if you haven't, you need to. These ladies do a phenomenal job with your Halloween thing that's coming up. These are events that these ladies are putting on over and above what is required of a homeowners association. I just want you to know that them having those little extra things that we do every quarter, they do something they have Santa Claus, obviously, that's going to be coming, the Halloween thing. You did a spring, you did Easter hunt, Easter extravaganza. So they've done lots of little things that help build the community spirit, help build your camaraderie with each other, and entertain the children of the park. I mean, to me, that's what this park is all about, is handing down something that's a heritage for a lot of us. I mean, that's the reason I bought a piece of property back in here. Like I told you last year, my parents owned a piece on the river. We had to give it up. When they passed away, I took their money that was left over from a piece of property I bought in Lake City and bought a piece down here just so my children and grandchildren can still enjoy coming down here and tubing down the river. We can't build on it, but it's okay. We've got keys. We can come in here to the parks. I mean, I got a pavilion. I can have me a cookout right here. I can have my family Thanksgiving right here rather than at a house somewhere that's not as nice as this. So, just so you know.
Plus, I'm here too. So that makes it worthwhile to come to all the festivals we do here, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
It's all about family. It's all about the kids. It's all about putting smiles on the faces. And that's why I do this. And I volunteer my time to do it, to make everybody happy and put smiles on everybody's faces. So, amen to what she said.
Absolutely. Okay, then it goes into printing and reproduction, another $400. And then the Trepo shirts. We're hoping this year to actually have shirts that the greeters can wear, so you know they are your greeter. They are part of the Trepo family, and they are the ones that are getting paid to take and make sure that our parks are safe while they're here. Then we get into the park management. And this is where a lot of money is spent, but also it's a lot of value for what we're going to be hopefully getting coming into the next year. And that is with our building repairs. We still have a budget of $5,000, and we know that's really not a lot of money when you start buying wood. I know most of you, if you've ever built steps or built anything, the cost of materials is really expensive. We still have on our budget the $55,000 capital improvement, and that we continue to carry that forward. And as I've told you before, if you don't have the money, you can't spend it. That's what a budget is for. We put $55,000 in here because we're hoping that clubhouse over there is going to be able to be remodeled. I don't know if any of you have been in there lately. I mean, it's still got the window units. The bathroom doesn't work. I mean, we're like so crowded in there on top of each other when we have our board meetings, and we have any members that, you're all welcome to come to a board meeting and be able to see what's going on. But we get more than the fire marshal allotted in there that we're going to have to move. We're going to have to move it to another spot. And if we move it to a location that's not warm and cozy and fuzzy, like we could do it now if we were doing it here for a while, but you talk about wintertime, who wants to, we can't sit out here and freeze to death shivering while we're trying to have a meeting. So hopefully we're going to be able to take some of this capital investment money and reinvest it in the clubhouse, because that's an asset. I do want you to know that nothing out here we are not in debt for anything. Every bit of money that's raised through your membership goes into all of these expenses that we're talking about. Like I said, $16,000 just to pay the regular normal bills. They're going on down. Capital improvement, like I said, they'll be telling you more about what we anticipate. Greeters, it did take a big jump. I know some of y'all are looking like 9,000 to 18,000, but our greeters have been doing their job for $10 an hour. I don't know if y'all know it, but the cost of I think the minimum wage went up this month to $15 an hour. It's not, huh? 12, okay. Well, we anticipate, like I said, we anticipate also because we are improving over on the Swanee side.
We used to volunteer and do it for free.
Right, well,
It's only been the last couple of 3 years.
Right.
I've been paying people.
Right.
It's nice because you
Well-
get beat up and it's hot.
I was gonna say, greeters well earn whatever they are getting paid. I will promise you that. They sometimes they're probably not getting paid even if they were getting minimum wage or $15 an hour, which is what I would tell them they had to go to. Right, exactly. They're 1099. They're not. We don't take any. So whatever they earn, they got to pay taxes on. So they're not getting free and clear money anyway. But the other reason it's gone up is because we've got a couple of locations over on the Swanee side that we are going to add a greeter to. So that way, we will be adding additional greeters, which is why we budgeted for 18,000, just in case, just so you know. Then the park repairs, we went up about $600, and that's just, those are general park repairs, and that's kind of where we budget in a block that's been messed up or something that's going on. It's a general park expense, not just an individual park expense. So that's where we put that budget. The park signs, I know that we have a team of people that are working on our park signs. So if you see one, you need one. I think we have the no trespassing ones still for sale. That if you want to do those, so we have a team, a committee that does take care of making sure our signs, our slow children at play signs, all of those are being taken care of through this budget. Our professional security, we anticipate those are off-duty police officers. Those are special events, things that are happening that we know we're going to need a little extra security at. That's what that budget item is in there for, the line item. The next one, of course, is our TREPO manager. His salary is marked out at $20,000 a year. Bill only gets paid by the hour, gets paid by the number of hours that he's out there. He only gets paid every 2 weeks. It's just like a regular part-time employee. He turns in his hours. We pay him based on what hours that he did, plus his mileage and any expenses like that. So we left his salary alone and just added a few dollars to the expenses because he has been himself taking care of a lot of the maintenance stuff that he sees. So while he's at the park, picking up broken glass, picking up locking gates that have been left unlocked, fixing broken locks, finding out what's going on, any expenses that he incurs, he helps keeps the janitorial supplies. If one of the guys says, "Hey, we need so and so," he's the one that runs down to the store and grabs some supplies if we need it. So he's really been our all-around guy. I know that y'all need to give him a hand because I know he's working hard to try to keep our park safe and do his job. It really is a thankless job because unfortunately there are people that are trying to give him a hard time when he's just trying to help them see. We've got rules listed on the walls for a reason. The rules are to help protect everybody, and it's not for him to be the person that gets harassed because the rules aren't being followed. He's just pointing out because sometimes there are people that may get a gate key from somebody that's coming in here as a visitor or friend, and they may not know what the rule is. So if he just says, "Hey, we're not allowing bottles in here. Please keep your bottle on the outside. You put it back in your car. You're welcome to put cans. But if you're out here and you're on a picnic, please pick up where you are. Put your trash in the trash can. Don't throw it down beside the trash can. This is your park. I mean, and if you're inviting people here to come be your guests that are not following the rules and not being nice to your neighbors, do you really want them to come back again? I mean, the whole point with us hiring a park manager was to help make sure our parks were safe and to make sure that you're safe and that your kids are safe. So that was, I'll get off my soapbox. Sorry. Thank you, Bill. Anyway, then of course, then under that is the taxes that we do pay on his income. And then the next big item on there, and I've highlighted it in blue because that's where we're headed. We are in dire need of a person who can actually help manage the clerical side of this organization. If you look at any big area in South Florida, any condo people, if you have a residential like in I'll be honest with you, I was a bookkeeper, administrative assistant for an organization which is Country Club Lakes. A lot of you may know where that is. That's in Lake City, Florida. Tommy Matthews used to be a contractor for Country Club Lakes. It was a homeowners association. And so those people that came in there, they had to pay a monthly fee, and they had a manager who took care of that to make sure everything was taken care of and all the paperwork was done properly. The taxes were paid, the dues came in, the people that were coming in who have property out here, who are not a part of this association. That's another thing we've got to start looking at. If you've got property and you're not part of the association, then why do you get the benefits of something that everybody else is having to pay for? So the whole thing is that's part of what a property manager is going to help us do. They're going to help make sure that everything is done the way it's supposed to be done. They're going to be the record keeper of everything, making sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. These ladies have done, and the gentlemen have done a wonderful job up to this point, but we're reaching over 1,000 people. If we actually reach who all owns property out here, from what I understand, there's 1,700 pieces of property out here that should be in this organization. So that's 700 people that are not paying their dues. They may not be coming and taking advantage of the parks. They may not be doing that. I don't know. They may be in South Florida and they just bought it because they wanted to buy a piece of property in Three Rivers next to the river. But we, as a property manager, that will be part of their job, to go after and to hold and keep the rules and to hold down and to find that thing. So based on that, that's why you see that big $60,000. That's an estimate. I will be honest with you, that's not set in stone. Plan from the board is that we will go out, we will take bids from property management companies, we will have a better idea of what it will actually cost to hire a property manager. That's in the future. I didn't say we're going to go out and do it tomorrow. We're not going to go give them $60,000 and say, okay, here you go, here's the key, come, here's our clubhouse, here's our file room, come figure it out. That's not what this is about. We will actually do exactly what we did when we decided to hire a park manager. They spent 3 or 4 months creating just a job description of what we expected them to do. Same thing will happen with this. We will go out, we will get bids, we will find the best company or person that can come in and help take over the organization of this, the organizational side of this association. So with that being said, you'll see the other little numbers down there. Based on the budget, total expenses without the property manager is $230,000, $230,040. The proposed income, which means the money that we know we're going to be getting from all of you who pay $150 a month times 1,000 plus. Sorry, these are yearly numbers now. I'm sorry. Excuse me. The yearly budget is $230,040 for the budget year. The proposed income is only $152,650. That's what our membership dues is all coming in. The new position is $60,000 that we wanted to add. That also, like I said, those numbers comes up to $290,40. So based on subtracting the $152 that we know we're supposed to be getting for this coming year, we have a shortfall of $137,390. Like I said, when you go to figure out you're going to renovate a new bathroom, it's going to cost you $5,000. You got to figure out how you're going to save up that $5,000. So same thing with this. You have to decide what's best for everybody and how it comes about. Based on those numbers and based on before you ever look at trying to reach out and find the other 700 property owners that are not part of TREPO, we have to come up and decide how we're going to come up with this money. It was presented at the board that we increase the rate, and I know that's not something that anybody wants to do, But as Hilda brought up at the very beginning of this meeting, last year, the first number that was thrown out was almost $300 before we ever came back down to the 150. I'm proposing at this point, and gave this to the board the other day, which we talked about, but we are going to have to increase the membership. Looking at other organizations and other costs, I know there's one person here that has told me of organizations that they are homeowners associations they've been part of is $600 a month. That's my mortgage payment. I'm sorry, and I understand there's going to be people out there that have hardships, and that's going to be a difficult thing. But if you have a hardship, we can find a way. And we did it last year. I know that they said that a couple of people came forward and said, we're really having a hard time increasing with the increase we gave last year. And I understand that's difficult and it's okay, but we only had 2 out of 990 that came forward and said, hey, we need help with that other $50. And I know this may be a lot, but I'm asking you to look and see what is the true value of what you're getting from the parks and from being a member of this association. Do you want it to be safe? Do you want it to stay clean? Do you want the added on features that we're offering as a board to you? And if so, then you won't have any problem with going ahead and saying yes to $300 for next year. At some point in time,
There's other ways. There's other ways.
No, that ain't happening. $300 a year. Got that $300 right there.
excuse me, we're not supposed to be out. You'll all get a few minutes, as you saw in your agenda, that you'll all get a moment to say exactly what's on your heart and what's available. Like I said, this is a budget. It's not set in stone. It's what's up to the board. I think has done a very good job of managing your money to this point.
When we get to
$100 this year, but 85,000 from last year. So there's a surplus on this budget.
we have 3,000 to last till the end of the year.
Right now,
You made $150,000 this year. That $85,000 from last year. Where's the surplus on the budget from the fees that was this year?
there's not a surplus.
$85,000 is based on $150?
No. That was the budget for last year, which is why we had to increase to the 150.
We'll make 150 already.
Excuse me, wait just a minute. I can't talk to somebody who's not holding a microphone. Just a moment. We can't, because I don't understand your question. There is no surplus in our budget. What extra money? There's only $50,000 left in our account right now for our reserve savings. That's our surplus. We have 50,000. So an emergency, if that hurricane had come through here and tore down our clubhouse, we'd have some money to build it back.
It takes time for insurance.
Okay, based on okay, let me tell you this.
We need to take all the people to the mic.
Excuse me. I can't hear you from back there for you yelling. You'll have to wait a minute until you'll have to wait till Terry comes forward. All I'm going to do is tell you that we only have in the bank now, after paying this month's bill so far, we are down to probably the last 15,000, and we have 3 months left. So we're going to have to dig deep into finding the extra money, even to cover this year's expenses. So a budget is just an estimate of what we're anticipating it's going to cost. So I'm going to hand this off to Terry, and she will address your questions. And if they come back to me, I'll answer what I can.
$5,000 before we had the increase. So you're counting $100 times 800 different people.
That's right. Okay, let me answer one thing real quick that was just brought up. You're looking at the $85,000 based on the budget from 23. At that point in time, we had not increased our money because we didn't increase until January. The 23 budget, I'm sorry, The 22 budget was for 85,000, was from $100 a month times 850 people, okay? Well, when we increased our thing, we increased doing these projects, and so the, did you not read that we have spent $98,000 in our budget and we are,
Okay, folks, we've got a microphone that's on right there, center of the pavilion. As you come up to speak, go ahead up to the microphone, please.
I'm gonna open comments to the members, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if this meeting gets out of hand and everybody starts screaming and hollering at everybody, I will shut this meeting down. And y'all can like it or not, I'm just telling you how it's gonna be. So let's all treat each other with respect, talk nicely, and we can get through the day, because we need to learn that we got to agree to disagree.
On that paper, it states that the estimated budget or the estimated income from memberships of 85,000 is based on 2022. But in 2023, you raised it. So my question is, where on the income is the extra money everybody paid in dues? Because the 85,000 is estimated from 2022. But in 2023, we had our dues increased, but we don't see on the budget where that extra income is. Now, if you say it went out, that's fine, but it's not on there as a surplus from the increase that everybody paid in January of 2023. That's still the estimated from 2022 at 85,000. So if it was spent, that's fine. But where is it stated as income from everybody that's dues were increased in 2023? That's the only question that I have, is it's just not stated in income. That income is still based on 2022. So where is the extra money that was going?
Because that's the budget.
But where is it stated on the income? It's okay if we spend it, but where is it stated there that it came in, the income, the difference? There should be a surplus because the rates went up in 2023. That 85 is based on 2022. Now, if we spend it, that's fine, but I don't see it as an income or a surplus from the rates that we already paid in January. That's my only question, is where is it stated as extra income from the rate increase last January that's been collected?
okay,
So
okay, let me tell you something. You're looking at, this is a budget. It's not the total
budget every
expenses.
day.
Not the total
Where the
expenses.
surplus.
The surplus
From
is
rate
in our year-to-date profit and loss. It is available if you need to. I can actually print out a budget that way. But based on our numbers,
But if they spend it, that's fine. I just don't see it here in the surplus.
Well, that's just a budget. It's a guideline.
wait a minute.
Okay, now we're getting out of order, only one person can talk at a time.
I'm just bringing attention, like she said, if everybody paid the 150, there should be an extra income of the difference on the 2023, because you estimated that by 2022. So if we had it, it's just not on there, that's all.
It's on here, and it's one of the numbers I said at the very
It's in there as an expense, but not an income.
No, the income on the top of this form, which you do not have in front of you, says income January through 23, September through September 23. From the bylaws, we collected $10. From the donations, we collected $95. From the estoppels, we collected $2,500. From interest, $7.78. Late fees, $2,030. Membership dues, $141,040.27. Other income, $36.80. Picnic and fish fry, $865.50. Total income up to date is $146,585.35. That's, and then our expenses all the way down show that we've spent $128. We have $30,000 left in our bank accounts that we can spend.
Hi, Lynn Meyer.
Wait a minute, you're looking at a budget which is all estimates on what we have and what we're gonna get. We're talking about actual numbers. The number you're talking about is actual, and it's not gonna show on the budget. If you go out to the treebo.net, every financial report for every month has been posted up through last month. We're not hiding anything. The budget does not show actual numbers. It's all estimates.
Can I think the confusion is what you were saying is that what you have is a proposed budget on the worksheet.
Yes, ma'am.
But what is not on there that people are confused about is that the actual expenses aren't there for comparison.
So I understand.
Thank you. Also, you can't calculate 900 times 150 because some people come in late in here.
You see, a lot of those 990 members that we have did not come in January. Properties have been sold all throughout the year. We've gained members throughout the year. And when those members come in, their membership fee has been prorated. So you can't look at a proposed budget and say, oh, 990 times 150. No, a lot of those people didn't pay 150 because they didn't live here. So there is going to be a discrepancy in those numbers.
Okay, go ahead, Pamela Thomas.
My question is, where is that budget on the website?
It's not because it's not been approved yet. That's why we're discussing it with you.
But where are any of the budgets on the website? I'm looking in document.
And then under treasurer report, it's there.
But why wouldn't it be a document? I mean,
It's posted as a document. It's a PDF document. Yes, it is. I looked at it yesterday. It was up to date as of yesterday. Okay.
We're not going to argue.
It's not fair because we are discussing it with you. It's not been approved.
You cannot talk unless you walk up to that microphone, Ruben.
I'm a graphic designer. I was for 33 years. I mean, I'd like for us to call documents what they are. A budget is still a document. It's not a news information piece. It's a document. So I would just like to propose that we put documents under a document heading so that the average member could find them. And that's my request.
Talking about two different things. You're talking about a budget and you're talking about year-to-date expenditures. If you're looking at the budget sheet that was handed out to all of us, real quick, don't even look at the line items, look at the totals. I'm going to start with the first one under administrative. Last year was budgeted, I'm just going to use round numbers, $38,000. This year budgeted is $28,000. We have a $10,000 savings. Just keep that number in mind. But we're $10,000 less budgeted this year than we were last year for that item. Go down to the next one, which is Columbia. $42,000 last year, $42,000 this year. We still have $10,000 that we saved on the first one. Go to the next one. The next one is Quanti. Last year was 16, this year's 26. Well, there went our $10,000. We're now back to even from last year to this year. Go to the next one. The next one was 21 last year for membership. This year's 23,000. Okay, we're $2,000 in the hole now. Remember, we were even. We're now $2,000 on this year's budget compared to last year's budget. Go to the last page. The last page was $98,000 last year. This year, it's $169,000. Holy cow, where did that $69,000 come from? Look at the budget. $9,000 came out of greeters. Now we're down to 60. $60,000 from HOA. We're down to $2,000. We found that $2,000 back over here on one of the other pages. So the budget from last year to the budget from this year is the same except for two major items. That's what you need to be discussing, those two major items. The rest of the budget is the same. We cannot go by the budget because we don't have a year-to-date expenditures. Your next year's budget has got to be based on last year's expenditures. If you budgeted $10,000 and you spent $100, you don't need to raise the $10,000 budget. You put in next year's budget based on what you spent the previous year. This budget is pretty much the same as last year's budget, except for about $69,000 on that last page. That's the discussion that I think should be taken up, and that's the way we need to move forward.
We have another speaker.
I got two questions. One is about what's going on with the lawsuit. The one from the point where the boy got murdered. Can we hear from that?
It's not Point, it was Camp Park.
Camp Park?
It's still in litigation.
So we're litigating. Is that why the extra money this year?
No, that's because of one of your members.
One
That's
of the
no
members
pocket
what?
of money, ma'am.
No, it's not. $10 million lawsuit is not pocket change.
The money we spent for legal fees.
That's always
Yeah,
held
totally.
in a closed meeting. We aren't supposed to have closed meetings. Break out the big
So
gun.
what's your question?
What's going on with the lawsuit?
The lawsuit, currently is, being mitigated,
Okay.
between the plaintiff and, the defendant, or the defendant,
Who's the defendant?
Three River Estate Property Owners
Okay.
Association.
Why is this the first time? It's not on the website. How come we don't know that information?
Our insurance carrier is, actually handling it for us, so there is no legal fees for us involved with that case.
But as a property owner, we should know about it.
It's,
Do you think?
everything's on file in the office, so. I don't think we really want to get out and start discussing our legal cases. We have nothing to hide in the particular
I'm
case.
not discussing the legal cases. This is the first time you've answered me about this legal case.
First time you've asked me about.
No, I asked last year. That was the first question I asked last year as well,
Okay.
which got cut out of the meeting,
Okay, well, I don't remember
out
addressing
of
you on
the
that.
minutes.
You cut out.
Just answered your question. You have another question concerning that case?
No, that case is done.
That case is from 2018.
The Stoffel letters. We are not a homeowners association. I want to get that plain and clear. When I bought in this property, it was a property owners association. And then we went incorporated, so we had to drop the association and incorporate. But it's a property owners association, and there's a lot more. The Stoffel letters, that's against the law.
We're
The fees and the dues, those are against the law unless 80% of the people vote. Okay? And that's everybody out here, not just what shows up at a meeting. 80% of the people need to vote on it. So why are we talking about Stoffel letters in our paperwork?
we talk about estoppel letters because for a person to get their property sold, they have to have that cleared. There
No,
is-
no, 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 no.
I'm not going to debate you. So at the end of the day, we're following.
Association,
Let me address you real quick. We're following a statute as far as HOAs. We are an HOA and we're following the rules.
We are not an HOA, we are a POA. There's a big difference.
I'm not going to debate you on that, but if you can bring evidence to that to us, we'll be more than glad to review it.
Okay. I'll have my lawyer contact y'all.
Appreciate that.
That's why our attorney fees go
Our
up.
attorney fees are going up. Okay, Joan Nana. Joan Nana. Okay, go ahead.
Did she have a thing? You're trying to go through the.
Hello, everybody. I'm very shy about speaking in public, but every property owner needs to hear this. There's a Florida statute, 720. It was amended in 2023, and it states that property owners are to receive a notice of meeting, including the agenda, 10 days prior to the meeting. So in reality, we're not supposed to vote till everybody gets a notice 10 days prior to the voting.
Read the bylaws, it's a
And
7
then
days.
if you don't believe me, you can go to the Attorney General in Tallahassee and find out.
Our bylaws. Hang on. Is she talking about members meetings, just special meetings? What?
Sorry, son, that damn.
My name's Joan Edith Nano. I have owned property in here since 1983. I was on the board, I served as a member and as chairman. I resigned because the board is performing illegally. It took an attorney to get them to find an attorney because when they had their family, Mr. Hunter's niece, Rebecca, she filed us as Three Rivers Estate Property Owners, Inc. If you don't believe it, go down to the courthouse and find out. It doesn't say HOA. Number one. Number two, at the meeting Tuesday night, you're all being asked to raise dues because we need a management company. Mr. Hunter stated himself, and it's a thankless job. I agree, I serve. It takes up time. Yeah, I had to drive from St. Petersburg to this clubhouse Tuesday night once a month and leave my sick mother. That's okay. I did it because it's a thankless job. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you put your name on that ballot to be a board member or an officer, you better remember, you are first for TREPO, not yourself, not your pocketbook, and not anybody else. So right now, if you think it's too much, Mr. Hunter, you should resign. And anybody else.
Why? Well, it is a lot easier taking care of 300 members than it is 1,000 members because I sit at my table and I'm not complaining all day long from 9 to 5 continuously doing paperwork. And because of a couple of members don't, and nothing was running right when you was on the board.
That's why our taxes weren't paid.
That's why our taxes haven't been paid. Okay, go ahead, Miss Lee.
Okay, why is it then that it says Three Rivers property owners? And when you look, every one of the properties out here, the parks are listed as property owners.
We're property owners, that's our name, but we have to follow the 720 rules which govern HOA.
Okay, does anybody out here, then why are we non-profit? Or did y'all change that?
We're not.
We're not non-profit, we're not.
Then what did y'all change it to a HOA?
We're not for no, we changed it to an HOA. We have to follow HOA rules. No, Florida 720. Yes, we do, Mary.
Read our Article 1 under our bylaws. Under Article 1 of our bylaws of Three Rivers Estates Property Owners Incorporated, this property owners association is incorporated as a not-for-profit corporation under the laws of Florida, and its corporate name is Three Rivers Estates Property Owners Incorporated, whose mailing address is P.O. Box 148, Fort White, Florida 32038. So we're pretty much our name, we're doing business as Three Rivers Estates Property Owners Incorporated, but we are not for profit is what we are. We're not a nonprofit, which is usually held for charities.
Okay, we'll talk to Mary Cherry because she wants to do short-term rentals, and that was something that members are complaining about.
Yeah, my name's Mary Cherry. You don't know who I am already. We have got to get a handle on the short-term rentals and the access to Airbnb, weekend rentals, whatever you want to call them, whatever they fall under.
Talking to Mike.
Yeah, whatever they fall under. If it's a short-term rental, I would say less than 6 months or a year, then they should not have access to our parks. Period. We have folks that are out here, and I'm all for entrepreneurs making money. Get it. But this is a private. We have private parks. We have folks that are making yearly salaries more than you or I probably make in a year off of their what was $100 investment. Last year went up to $150. They're making a $150 investment and making their whole year's salary off of what we're trying to preserve. So something needs to be done. So we need to get a handle on that. And doing that hand in hand, which means we have to prepare our greeters and give them the right tools to be able to stop the folks that are not supposed to be coming in our parks. If they don't have the right tools, they cannot say you're not supposed to be here. As of now, they have no way of knowing who anybody is. I can show you a key and tell you my buddy's name, and you'll let me in. Because you don't know me. But I'm not that person, and I shouldn't be here because I don't belong here. That's how it's run now. I'm not speaking about the greeters because they do good. They do what they can do, but there has to be an upgrade in the process, and every park is different, so it's going to be different for every park. But without the right tools, the greeters can only do what they can do. But y'all want to stop the other people from coming in. There's things that have to be put in place for that to happen.
Again, Mary Terry, thank you very much for your concern. If we look at the bylaws, Article 9 has this big of a paragraph that explains all members and their relatives and their guests who accompany them shall have full use of the recreational areas owned by 3 member states. This use shall include but not be limited to areas to swimming, boating, picnicking, and other recreation. But anyway, it's all in here. Use of recreation areas by groups shall be limited in scope and number, where the group using or planning to use a recreation area or areas exceeds or is expected to exceed 12. They need to have the president or the vice president shall approve it. And no other persons or groups or non-members shall be permitted to use the recreation areas without prior approval of the board. The officers of the corporation and their designees are directed to take such action as they may deem appropriate to prosecute trespassers and prevent unauthorized use of any of the recreation areas under the control of the corporation. So we have the right to control. We don't have the tools. Yes. If there is no enforcement, then there shouldn't be, that's our problem. That's another reason why we need a property management company.
Stacy, you want to speak on it since he was asking about the same thing?
Stacy Greco.
I need to get that changed.
I'm curious about the data that the short-term rentals are a problem. And we had a conversation about this January 2023 at the board meeting, and it's complex because how are you going to enforce it? Because the way that it reads, what Hilda just read, is members need to accompany their guests. So if it's grandma that owns the house, does grandma always go to the park with you? So this becomes an issue for everybody, not just the short-term rentals, of how is that going to be enforced? And it's a complicated issue. So we talked about having a committee to pull it apart and work on it over time. We have not been able, that was a motion made, and it was decided that we would create that committee. I volunteered to be on it. I have a short-term rental. And I've reached out several times, and that committee has not met. I know there's been a lot going on this year, so I'm not blaming anyone. I know everyone's volunteers, but I think it's too complicated to figure out at a meeting like this when people have
Yes,
2
I
minutes.
agree.
So I make a motion that we create a subcommittee to look at short-term rentals and how that would be implemented and if it's even an issue. We could look at the data from the gatekeepers. We know the numbers of the keys of the short-term rentals. Are they a problem? So that's my motion. Thank you.
I second that motion.
She did. We don't need a motion. We don't know what's gonna be in the big form to look at.
There's already been one formed, we just have need to take action.
Jimbo Willis.
I'm Jimbo Willis. I'm on the Swanee side over there. Got a couple of questions about the porta potties and the restrooms and the boat ramps. I understand we're going to address the boat ramp issue, and we appreciate that over there. Because we don't venture to this side very often. But the restrooms over there are supposed to be renovated, but you can't get in them. I can't. I just tried today. I couldn't get in them. My key doesn't work.
Does it work on the gate?
It works on the gate, but don't work on the bathrooms. Yeah, there's other people that go down there a lot, but it doesn't work.
We will definitely check.
We'll have that checked.
Check the walls.
Both.
No, the top one.
The top ones.
The top one is only for locking
Hold on.
if there's something wrong with the
Okay,
bathroom.
well, it's locked then, because the bottom works, but the top is deadbolted. So if it doesn't, it's not operable, then it's not operable.
Someone needs to.
If we'll check it, we will check it.
Well, if you beat on the door, nobody says hello, there's probably not nobody in.
We will check it.
We'll check it out, sir.
Yeah, and I understand the boat ramps are gonna work on that, and we appreciate that, because there's a lot of neglect on that side when it comes to that type of stuff, so we'll wait and see what happens.
Is there a Marilyn Gorma?
Yeah, I'm gonna send an email because
Wait, go to the mic.
I just missed it from the wait. I'll just send you all an email. I have too many issues.
Wendy Hale, did you want to talk? Yeah, we got a board in here.
Yeah, come on up if you want to speak. We got the microphone set right here. One at a time, please.
Hey everybody, I'm Wendy Hale. Well, yeah. My question is, okay, on the newsletters, all right, anybody who signed up for emails, we shouldn't have to spend the money needed for that, okay? Everybody has access to Wi-Fi.
Everybody
Instead
does
of
it.
mailing them out, and hear me out, just hear me out, put it on the website. Does everybody have access? To those who don't have access, take that few numbers, okay, and I'm sure out of 900 members, there's only a few of them. Take them, mail them out. The other thing is on just balance sheets, okay? Along with a newsletter, why not just put the quarterly or a balance sheet in there? Make that easy. Put your accomplishments and your goals. The accomplishment of what happened over the last 3 months and what the next goal is for the next, for the next quarter. This way, I think everybody might, instead of these meetings going haywire, okay, we actually have something to talk about. This didn't happen on this quarter. When is it going to happen? It's just an easy, we all can look up the Itchen Tuckney one page, 1898. Okay. If we want an actual newsletter, then make it an actual newsletter. That's all I got.
Okay, you have to send out by mail notice of this meeting.
That's fine.
But there's more to it, and why it was so expensive is not only do we send it to the 990 members, we send it to the 1,700 that also are not helping contribute to our fund. So we had to send it to all of Suwannee County, all of Columbia County, anyone that has in their description on their deed,
right.
Three Rivers Estates. So that's why we're having to spend so much money because our bylaws tell us to.
To mail them out?
Yes, by U.S. mail.
But, well, then, no.
And like she
that's
said,
just
10
a meeting,
days-
right? The annual meeting.
The annual meeting has to be
Okay,
announced.
which that's fine.
But
But all the rest of it, you know, on the quarterly,
right.
You know,
But there are a few things that do have to go out according to, I just read something else that also has to go out. And also in ours, it says it has to be postmarked 7 days prior to the members' meeting. So that is the timeline that we go by.
oh, okay.
But I do encourage you to mark your calendars, get your phone out right now for the second Saturday in October next year. So you have it on it's October 12th, have it on your calendar.
Okay, Diane Suarez.
Well, I originally had a question. Well, I don't have a question. I have a statement. I don't agree with doubling in 1 year your membership fees. Because that's not conducive to others, and the day and date, we're all having different life charges, doubled, tripled. That's not the answer. HOA manager for me, definitely a no. So that's my thoughts.
Okay, Jesse Crane.
My name is Jesse Crane. I'm a member out here. I've been here since 2007. Back in 2019, I made my first record request. I've been trying since then to get records. I've been denied multiple times. I've made multiple visits up to the clubhouse with no relief. I have a current letter, which I was required to hire an attorney now to get records. That's why we hired the attorney to stop me from getting records. I've asked for audits. They said the books are open. Anybody can look at records. Obviously, that's not true. I have correspondence from my attorney if anybody would like it for the members, not for me. This is an attorney for the members of our association. As of the 25th of August, no taxes has still been filed. I can show you videos of meetings where our board has told us multiple times we've filed taxes. They work with the IRS, all kind of stories. I don't understand why y'all are not willing to give me records, why I've had to hire an attorney, why you have hired an attorney just for me to get records. I don't understand. But I think that everybody needs to know that I'm not a bad guy. I'm just trying to get records to figure out what's going on.
You don't want to hear what I got to say.
I do. I would like to hear what you have to say.
I have filed our taxes, Jesse. I signed them myself. So.
Well, then how come your attorney come look at it?
Well, I don't know what to tell you, but
Your
they've been
attorney's name is
filed.
Matt
They've been
McCarthy,
filed
correct?
for way years. We was in office. I'm not signing tax forms for people that.
Is your attorney's name Mac McCarty for Three Rivers Estates to go against my attorney for record production? Is that correct?
If it was done after August, whatever.
They don't even want to answer that. You guys think you can trust these people?
I don't file the tax forms.
So one of the requests was to please make sure to
I
provide
got somebody
IRS
gonna talk to
filings.
you, so just quiet down.
Are you gonna talk over me again?
No, but my name is Mac McCarty.
Okay, well,
I'm
you're
the
the one that said
associate.
this. They asked me to read this, so it's my turn for the floor. If you'll please be quiet for a minute until I finish, I'd
2
appreciate it.
minutes. Let's go right
Please
now.
make sure to provide the IRS filings included but not limited to all 1099s for every employee of the corporation. Apparently, this is Mr. McCarty's answer. Apparently, tax returns for the association have never been filed. The 2020s were finished but supposedly to be filed, but allegedly the CPA thought the president filed it and vice versa. I have directed that it be filed now, although ultimately there is no tax due, so a penalty will be very small, if any. If also directed, 21 and 22 will be finalized and filed now as well. Those filings will cover the responsibility of the current board constituted in 2021. This board has been here for a lot longer than 2021. Some members from at least 2007 have been on this board. So like I said, if you guys trust these people, give them your $300, raise the dues, try to kick out the people that they don't believe belong here and run their agenda. But I believe that we're better than that out here. I believe that almost all these lot owners do have a heart. They do care about other members. See what I mean? Everybody else gets it all the time, right?
First, I will only say in response, it's an honor to represent the association here. I was hired to help the association comply with the laws and do the things that need to be done. There has been no resistance to supplying documentation to anybody when the documentation is required to be provided. There has been some record cleanup that has to be done. There's continuing process. I have not worked against anybody's attorney. I have worked with them trying to comply. There have been multiple instances where the records have been made available. There was not an effort to bring in a copy machine, which one can do. There was an effort to shoot with camera pictures. There were a number of times when documents were shown to the individual requesting where copies were not made, and then it was reported to that individual's attorney that the documents were not produced. So not only are usually there are two sides to every story, but sometimes more than that. But I will say that our firm represents roughly 100 associations in North Central Florida. I'm from North Central Florida. When I met with this association, I told the board that I will not represent this association unless the board is going to do everything legally possible to comply with Florida statutes, both Chapter 617, which is the Not-for-Profit Corporation Act, and Chapter 720, which is the Florida Homeowners Association Act. And the board has committed to doing that. So when I respond to an attorney and say, these returns were not filed, well, you know what? A lot of returns, it doesn't matter if there's no tax due on those returns. And I understand the returns have all been filed now. So these are things that this board has been endeavoring to clean up, straighten up, and get right so that they can comply with the law. And again, if they stop doing that, I will not represent them. So rest assured that, again, it is an honor to represent this group, but this group is trying to get it right. And it's hard to do because there's a lot of years in the past where things weren't taken care of in accordance with how they should have been. So anyway, that's really all I have to say. And I really, by the way, I've enjoyed being out here. I'm happy to be here. I'm even happier to see that y'all do not have torches and pitchforks. And I enjoyed the meal, which, by the way, I paid for. So thank you for that.
Rivers neighbors, my name is Mary. I am thrilled to hear that even though it took an attorney, that the board is now working on doing things legally, honorably, by the statutes and our bylaws. I do have one tiny question though. Did I understand right when 20, 21, and 22 taxes were actually filed? Can anybody tell me?
I put them in the mail myself about 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks.
We found out that we had.
Is that for all 3 years?
That was for all 3 years. I
Okay.
filed 21, 22.
Requested audit. I'm talking now. Thank you very much. I did an audit for Tree Home. I came up with a long list of suggestions, things that they were not doing legally. Number one on my list was not filing taxes. Now, as Attorney McCarty said, fiscally, that means nothing to us really. We don't pay taxes. But what it means to me is that for the last 3 years, every time I have come to a meeting and asked, have you filed the taxes? I was told yes. And now I find out that's a blatant lie. And I have a problem with that. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
May I address one more time?
Just one more second. Just to clarify, I was only made aware that the taxes had not been filed. There is an accountant that was part of our business, part of our association a number of times ago. I went through the QuickBooks program that I'm in charge of. I came up with the numbers that we needed to do the filing. We do not owe taxes. We are a not-for-profit. Anything that comes in is our income. Anything that goes out is an expense. Those numbers were recorded on those documents. I came to the president. She signed those documents because she's been the president for the 3 years that had not been filed. They have now been filed. And I'm sorry, but I did not know. I was not responsible for those.
I want to hear who did what. What I want to understand is why the whole board sat there meeting after meeting in your few minutes at the end and always tell me,
They've all been filed.
Well, unfortunately, the board probably did not know because they're not on the board. I'm not on the board. I'm only done and do what I'm asked to do. I was asked, would I check to see if they were filed? They had not been filed through the accountant, so I filed them.
Yes, please. Yes, go ahead. I don't remember seeing her at any meeting.
In the past, the only form that was said to be filed was the 2020 form. We had a accounting firm in Lake City that did the form. Their name is on the form. It was our impression that they were electronically filing it. We assumed that that was done, but that's the only year. We came in 21. We filed for the 20, but that's the only year that we stated that we filed the return. We didn't say we filed 21 or 22. We said 20. So that is actually what we said because we believed that the accounting firm filed that. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Ray Garner. I've been property owner here since 2005. I see we have paid employees now, and I was just wondering, are all the 1099s filed properly every year for the paid employees?
Yes.
All right. Taxes haven't been filed.
They have
been filed.
Oh, just recently. Oh.
Okay, Christine Richards has a question. Talk about dogs, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm fairly new. I've only been here a year. I've only been here a year, and I'm very disturbed about the vicious dogs that live next to me. That a few months ago, and actually, this was about half a dozen times that I alerted the neighbors that their dogs were coming onto my property. So a few months ago, my beautiful black cat was mangled to death with 30 bloody, bleeding bite marks all over his body. And I did have to file an affidavit through the Humane Society. And then shortly after, my brother filed an affidavit because one of the same dogs tried to attack him in our yard. Since it was managed by the Humane Society in Lake City, now it's been taken over by Columbia. I've just learned that the first fee was they were charged $300, $150 per animal, and now that there was a second situation, they should have been charged $500. In the meantime, now it's handled by Columbia County, and I called to say, I just want to feel safe on my own property, and I really don't even feel safe walking down my street. I'm over by Copperhead. There's a lot of dogs that are just running loose. It's not safe to ride a bike, even. I mean, I actually went and bought several cans of wasp spray. I mean, do we literally have to carry a gun in my yard to feel safe? So in the meantime, talking to, I think it was Officer Grant, when I called and to see what was going to happen now that it's taken over by the county. And she remarked that they don't have the records and they have to start a whole new case. I said, do you mean I have to wait for another cat to be murdered? Or one of us to be hurt in our own property? So I'm just asking for help and suggestions. Are there any rules in the bylaws governing?
I got a 9mm 45.
No, but you trained me how to shoot a gun. Thank you. I really do need help and suggestions. I don't feel safe on my own property. So anyone can help me, please address this issue. And it needs to be addressed
members, I think, anyway, an entire community, there is a problem with dogs, people letting their dogs run loose.
What street do you live on?
It's my concern.
What street do you live on? What street do you live on?
Copperhead.
On Copperhead? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name's Jared Buttram. I live on the Swanee side. I've got a question and a statement. The cost of the portalets, just a question, can we not purchase our own and sub out a company to come and clean them for way lesser of a cost? And my statement is a bucket of beer at the keg room 2 years ago was only $8 and now it's 16. Is that stopping anybody from buying one? And also a 2x4 in 2020 was like $6 and now it's 18. So my statement is it's very important who you vote for. So let's make America great again.
My thing is, you open the meeting and you talk about, you open the meeting and you talk about people on fixed incomes. Prices are rising. They're having to do without some of the things they need. They do without the luxuries. And the money they got left over, when they pay what they need, they try to buy groceries on it, which is outrageous. Then you turn around and you talk about the political part of this. Where's your budget? I'd like to hear budget cuts. Is there anything? Did you put coupons? Did you do anything? If you don't have the money for a $60,000 new position, you don't get a new position. If you have the improvements to do, you don't have the money to do them, and this is great. What y'all done's been great. I mean, it's beautiful. This is what we want. If you don't have the money to get it done in 1 year, split it up to 2 years. Take more time to do it. Reality is people on fixed income are managing their budget. They're doing without luxuries. They're doing out a few wants just to get their groceries. So if you flip over to this, you've got to do without something. You've got to cut back. If you don't have the money, reality is you don't get it.
Hello, I'm Alex. And my question was not really a question, it's again a statement. You're asking for $60,000 for a new position for a property management company, but we have 11 board members and 4 officers. What will be your responsibilities? No one's paid. Yeah, they're volunteer, 100% volunteer. And if you can't do it, like they said, then let somebody else do it. It's not from like I did. I ran, and I had my name thrown through the mud. So
didn't we all?
And you can all you want, but we have emails. We have people that came to the gate and were told, "Don't vote for Ravinam for Alex," and we can bring them up here to you. So again, $60,000 for a property management company that we have 11 board members and 4 officers. If the property management's going to file all the paperwork, what is our treasurer and secretary doing?
That's not their job.
It just, to me, it seems like everybody who's wanted to speak today has had an opportunity to do so. I think kind of the sentiments of the crowd have been pretty clear at this point. So at this point, I'm a Gator fan, and I got a few minutes. Motion to adjourn. All in favor of adjourning, say aye. Any opposed? No?
Are we voting now? Okay. Let me just make a mention of the.
All right. Thanks everybody for coming out. DG Ice Cream Chris here, and again, round of applause for Charlie for filming everything, getting everything on camera. Everybody for putting together all the food and everything. The food was awesome. Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on, everyone. We got the 50-50 drawing. You want to fill your pockets with some cash? Come on, don't go yet. Hold on. We're going to do the 50-50 drawing. Everybody, hold on. Well, you can tell that was a good, intense meeting when we all forget about a big jar of money. And
Y'all should officially adjourn the meeting.
and now they're doing the 50-50 drawing, getting that ready. Hang on, everybody hang on tight. And
Can
the
y'all
only funny,
Will y'all officially adjourn the meeting?
What about voting? Why are we here?
there's the microphone, live microphone over there on the other side of the pavilion. Anybody wants to say something real quick?
Hello? Excuse me. Everyone is leaving and we haven't heard whether or not the meeting is adjourned by the president.
The meeting adjourned. I called to get a second motion.
No agenda. So
We did have an agenda.
there's no vote.
So the dues are not being raised. There was no vote for the dues.
Wait. What about the dues? Are we voting on the dues or not?
It was not in the 2022 meeting. It was not in the minutes.
Hello. You're not gonna wanna hear this, but again.
It wasn't in the meeting.
It's in the bylaws. This is what it says in bylaws, Article 6. Shush, please. I'm sorry, that was not, okay, first of all, this is really, should we bring the meeting back because we've adjourned? Okay, all right, so here is the answer to the question on why there's no vote. The corporation, through its board of directors, shall have the power to fix and determine from time to time a sum or sums necessary and adequate to provide for the common expenses of the corporation and such other assessments as are specifically provided for in the bylaws. The procedure for determining such assessments shall be as set forth herein. I'm reading this to you only because I'm a secretary. I didn't write this up. This is...
There was a motion to adjourn. It was seconded. We are adjourned. There will be no talking.
Yeah, that's being done. Hang on.
50-50, they're doing it right now. Hang on, everybody tight for the 50-50. Vicky's getting that done right now. Hey, really quick, in the meantime, I'm gonna go to the fun part because I'm DJ Ice Cream Chris. I'm here to put smiles on everybody's faces. That was intense, of course, the meeting. But remember, October the 28th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You got all the vendors coming out here, buy stuff. There's a chili cook-off. There'll be some music in the morning. All right? And then October the 28th, bring all the kids and grandkids, 4 to 7 p.m. I'll be doing family karaoke. Everybody come on out with your best voices. Come out and sing. Have a good time, as always. And remember, there'll be adult and child costume contest. There'll also be a hayride from 4 to 7 p.m. on October the 28th, Saturday. Tons of candy, trunk or treat. So y'all come out for that. We're getting ready to do the 50-50, so everybody pull out your tickets. Pull out your tickets. And if you do have the winning ticket, 10% goes to me, by the way. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Only 5%. No, I'm kidding still.
6.5.
6.5, I'll take it. So to the serve, the gentleman, and the cool Joe Cotterman Church. Number 2. 29, excuse me. 9 was folded over. I see it now.
Championship right here.
I got it, baby. That's great. I like that shirt.
Championship driver. Hey, me, it's just.
As always, I'm going to do just 2 quick. Dinenzio and Sons moving just to remind people my service. And just to remind everybody as well. I know we got a lot of new people moving into the subdivision every month, every year. I am also Dinenzio and Sons Moving Services since 2009. We've got over 345-star customer reviews on U-Haul's Moving Helper in Gainesville and Tampa and Sarasota. So keep us in mind. You got guys, pull out your tickets. Pull out your tickets. Drum roll. Who's got the drums? Come on, Joe. Pull out your drum set, man. Where are the drums? Just find somewhere. Go on Wendy's back and do a drum roll, will you?
Right?
Okay, the 50-50 drawing is $84, guys and girls. Oh gosh, you doing this to me?
You gotta be the bad guy.
Oh my God. If I win, just so you know, it better be on camera.
Come over here, pick the number. You gotta be on camera.
Oh my gosh. Remember? Yeah. Thank you, number 29. Remind everybody of my 6.5%. I'm just kidding.
Roll call, please, Joe. Oh, Jesus Christ. Come, there he is.
I gotta pee, hurry up, right?
Yeah, put your tickets down.
All right, you guys ready? The winning ticket for $84 is 9795604.
Sure I got these on the same roll?
Again, 9795604. The winning ticket for the $84 drawing for the 50-50. Who's got it? 9795604.
Donated that.
Oh.
She said she didn't turn in the other set of tickets.
Okay, 9795604. Don't make Charlie and I have to split the pot. Come on, who's got the winning number? Just kidding. Is the winner left already? Okay, I'll make sure this isn't one of my tickets.
Hang on.
No, I didn't win. Are you sure? I'm going to call this number one more time. One more chance, guys and girls. 9795604. Winning ticket for the $84 for the 50-50. Nobody out there has this ticket? That's incredible. Wow. Okay, we're going to pick another ticket. We're throwing this to the side. Picking up. There we go. All right, y'all, get ready. Pull out your tickets. We're going to pick another number. You got to be here to win. I wanted the Powerball 1.7 billion. What the heck happened to that? All right, here we go. We got new winning ticket. Got to be here to win. You ready? Here we go. 9795528. Again, 9795528. We got a winner out there. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Well, that's a really good chicken dinner. You got to be kidding me. We're going to go one more time. 9795528. We have a winner. Woo! Thank you. Tim. Tim won. All right, Tim. We got a match. I'm going to hand these to you.
Drinks are on
Tim, just flip me my 6.5%. Then you can do drinks for everybody. Congratulations. All right, you guys. Don't forget October 20th. Come on up. Bring all your family, friends. And have fun. A lot of kids' activities. So do not forget to bring your kids, your grandkids. Lots of trunk or treat. Lots of candy is going to be handed out there. trick or treating. They got a hayride. That's all from 4 to 7, and the costume contest, 4 to 7 p.m. on October 20th, Saturday. And again, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They'll be having vendors out here, chili cook-off. There'll be entertainment as well in the morning hours to 2 p.m., 10 to 2, and then 4 to 7. 4 to 7 is big for the kids in the costume contest and all that. So, all right, guys and girls, DJ Ice Cream Chris signing out. Love y'all. Enjoy this beautiful day. Wait a minute. Hi. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. No, I'm just kidding.
You didn't announce the ruffle.
What?
Ruffle, you didn't announce it.
Yes, I did.
I didn't hear it down there.
I announced it 5 times.
And you were down there.
I hope you didn't have to wait a ticket. It wasn't.
Okay, my mom.
What? No.
Are these the tickets that were?
Yeah, I announced it 5 times. I don't want off and stuff like that. I'm just thinking, they asked me to do it. I didn't even know I was doing it. So I got thrown into the business.
But those tickets for that month will be in mine. You gave me $30, and that's it. How many bands?
Oh.
Chance Star.